Hey guys, this is Med. Just wanted an update on my live rock, DIY rock, or base rock actually. But I pulled it out of the bucket. To get it out of the bucket, it was standing on end like that, which actually looks kind of cool. But that's not the way it's gonna go. It's gonna sit right there, and I just scraped around it and put the rest of the sand in another bucket. Um, and I did not want to pull it because I've seen lots of videos of people pulling it and breaking it, and I left it in for 3 days instead of 2, um, just to give it an extra day to harden up, and it's solid. Some of the outer stuff's flaking off, like here's a chunk. Some of the little oyster shell pebbles. I got Harbor Freight oyster shells, not Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply oyster shells. They're white, which I think would look a lot better with the white porcelain cement, but I don't mind the gray. It's what I had in my area. So after I scooped most of it out, I kind of popped the bucket on the ground once and it dislodged, and then I pulled it out because it wasn't attached to anything. But I only pulled its weight out. I did not pull it out of the sand because that might break it. But I tried to make a cave. It's kind of a little cavern. I knew I failed a little because I couldn't quite pinch the sand where I wanted it to. It just kind of ended up spilling all in this area. And it's a little shorter than I thought. I thought I had a whole another section over here, but that's okay. It gives more room around the side of the glass. And then I made this kind of plate coral shape, so I think that'll be cool. I'm gonna plan on making a back wall, like a thin back wall that goes down, well, that goes all the way up and then around the power head, not power head, but intake. And maybe hopefully plant zoanthids in there. But for now, this is the big chunk I got. It's got a leg. It all turned out really well. I was worried about the porosity. It's a little different. I think it's a little smoother than other people's stuff, but it's very rough. It's well, there's like a chunk right there you can almost see in. Huh, my flashlight's dead. But see, there's like a chunk you could see in, and all of these just have little pinholes. It's very poor. You can pour water on it and it goes straight through. Hose water was building up a little and like spraying over the sides when I did it, but it was still going straight through. I was a little worried because it wasn't as chunky as other people make it. Like when I dropped it, when I did the drop thing, it's kind of flattening out. But when I held it in my hand, it was pretty much just texture. I knew it wouldn't be too runny. The concrete was kind of just glossed over all of the oyster bits. So I think it turned out really well. I'll have to soak it. I am planning on putting a bubbler in the 5-gallon bucket to keep. I've read that it speeds it up a lot. And then I've got a saltwater test kit coming in with a high pH range test, so I could actually test this water and my other water. As for the actual thing, well, I got sand in there, but I was saying I wanted to do the back wall, so I have it in cups for biofilter, and then I have. Let's see if I can do this. That goes there. I have 2 filters in here, and actually underneath those filters are just bent around, and underneath are some cheap eBay bio rings. So those are the extra, and that wouldn't fit in, but I'm pretty happy with them. They're real finely rough. They're They're like 1,000 grit sandpaper or something like that. They're not too bad. I like them. I don't know. It might be the lava rock in my other tanks. So kind of wish I saved that lava rock, but didn't have room for it. So yeah, thanks. And I'm gonna throw this in a bucket and start soaking it and tell you how long it takes.